I didn't see hammering these against a piece of wood in the instruction manual. Hey everyone, today on Feathers Off-Road we're doing an unboxing and install of the Tusk Highlander X2 Rackless bags on this KTM 890 Adventure R. I do have the stock rear mounting plate, which I'll probably change out, but we'll go like this for now. So let's get this box open. There's a number of parts to this system. It's not just the two pannier racks on the sides. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that comes in here. So let's see. First is the optional duffel, which is kind of highlighted in light gray here. Also the tent pole bag is highlighted in light gray in this picture. This is the tent pole bag. Going deeper, we have water bottle holders. They have optional water bottle holders on each pannier bag. So there's two of those. This is the other water bottle holder. There is a heat shield, exhaust heat shield that comes with it. I actually ended up not using this, but we'll see how the bags do over time. And then a bunch of molly sticks, which I'll talk about later. This is how you're going to mount accessories to this system. And then the big thing is the actual pannier side bags and the top plate that they mount to. And we'll go into that in detail here in just a second. And the hardware that's all included for that. So I've got the instructions out here. Part of the reason I even did this video is I really don't think these instructions are that great. It's basically mount the side bags to the top piece, you know, attach the straps to your top rack, put a heat shield on if you need it. I felt like in practice this was maybe a little more involved than just 7 or 8 pictures. So I've kind of got everything dry fit here. The logo, Tusk logo on the top faces backwards. The other Tusk logo faces towards the front of the bike. I just wanted to see how this was all going to fit, where kind of exactly I wanted things to be. So I've got this just laid out. These are the 3 holes. There's T-nuts that they've supplied. And there's matching 3 holes on these side bags. There's a little bit of wiggle room to get this all fitted correctly. I ended up using the middle hole on those front 3. But this was I think maybe the most tricky part of the whole install, getting these T-nuts in here. The instructions would have you just hold them, but it's so thick that you can't really hold them and screw in from the other side. So I put a piece of wood underneath and just hammered in each one just to hold it in place. I didn't hammer it like crazy because when you tighten everything down, that's what's really going to pull these in. But I needed to hammer this just to hold it in place. And this is the view from the top. This isn't fully tightened down, but you can see how kind of this would go. It's the bolt washer going through both sets of material into that T-nut. And then when you tighten that all together, it's going to really pull the T-nuts in. Otherwise, the only thing that holds the top is these 3 straps through your plate. And that's where I was saying I'll probably get a new top plate. On the bottom, you have this cam buckle. I still have the rear foot peg, so I'm probably just going to attach here. Some people go further down. But this rear foot peg worked pretty well for me. And then it's just taking out the slack of this strap so it doesn't get caught in something. You might even cut that off and melt the end, but until I'm totally 100% happy with the location, I'm going to leave it. But with the straps all tightened everywhere, this is pretty secure. There's no real movement on any of it. And like I said, on the far side, I didn't even need that heat shield adapter so far. I'll watch it as I go, but there's kind of one already in that spot from KTM. So the only other thing to really do is throw the duffel up under here, and then these straps all can be tightened down. But inside each of the side bags, Tusk includes a dry bag They call it the Defender. It's a 25-liter dry bag. So these outer bags are not waterproof, but they include the inner dry bag. Nice thing about that is you get to the hotel, you get to your campsite, whatever, you can just pull the dry bag out and pack it separate, so you can leave the whole other system on the bike, and then it's just a quick pop the 2 bags out. But this is where we get into our first accessory attachment, and it uses this MOLLE system. If you've never used this before, it's kind of like an interlocking of webbing, and then you jam this MOLLE stick down in between each one, and then it locks. And this is kind of the locking pin at the top. It's just this friction point here in the middle. So before you jam the stick down in there, you gotta loosen this. And you can see there it's kind of unlocked, let's say. And then you jam it down in between each of these webs. You just have to make sure you go on one side and then the other accessory side and then the main bag side, and kind of interlock this stick through each one of those black squares you can see on the bag. So you're just going to run it right down the middle of that, push them together, and this is what it looks like assembled. And then the MOLLE stick locks. Now they do include a compression strap with this G-hook. I was able to get that in there. I'm not sure how much compression I'll need. I'm just going to put a water bottle in there for this trip, but you could do an MSR gas bottle or, whatever. It's a pretty big bag, actually. In the instructions, it does say to run top to bottom. So this is the bottom latch on one side, and then it crosses and goes to the top where that G-hook is. So it's not just straight across. This is the small duffel. Now this duffel is a waterproof bag, and also this quick accessory pouch, it uses the MOLLE system as well. So it came with a couple sticks for that. This bag is also waterproof. So it's only the side bags that are not waterproof, and they come with those Defender dry bags, but everything else up here is waterproof. And this is meant for what? Phone, wallet, keys, that kind of stuff. Quick access, they call it. So you can see I've got some MOLLE strips on this side that I didn't end up using. You could put the water bottle over there. I did just go with one water bottle on this side for this trip. I'm also not using the tent bag, but at this point, things are pretty much installed. There's, a little room for tightening things down. There's this strap on the top of each pannier side bag, is kind of this diagonal strap that holds everything tight, but this is essentially finished. I'm not using the tent pole bag. I'm not using the other water bottle one on this trip, but I'm going to roll with this. We're going 1,500 miles through some rain even, so we'll see how this holds up, but I'm really liking the system and the price. So until next time, enjoy the ride.